When a killer finishes cleaning up the blood, their next move is usually to destroy the evidence. They often assume that submerging a digital camera in a washing machine will erase the data along with the stains. In 2008, motivational speaker Travis Alexander was trying to navigate a relationship with Jodi Arias. What began as a romance quickly morphed into an intense, obsessive attachment on her end. Travis repeatedly tried to cut ties, realizing the dynamic was deeply unhealthy. But Jodi refused to let him go, escalating her behavior to hacking his social media accounts, slashing his tires, and stalking him across state lines. This obsession reached a horrific boiling point in June 2008. Jodi drove to Travis's home in Mesa, Arizona, brutally murdered him, and meticulously scrubbed the crime scene to remove any trace of her presence. Physical cleanup is merely the first step. For a highly manipulative personality, the ultimate weapon is controlling the narrative, twisting reality so completely that the truth seems impossible. But investigators did find something. Tucked away near the washing machine was a silver point-and-shoot digital camera, waterlogged and seemingly ruined. When police brought Jodi in for questioning, she played the role of the grieving ex-girlfriend perfectly. She told detectives she hadn't seen Travis in weeks and was hundreds of miles away. Her confidence was rooted in a very specific assumption. She knew she had run that camera through a wash cycle, believing she had destroyed any record that could contradict her manufactured timeline. This left the investigation with a technical challenge: how to definitively place a suspect at a crime scene when the primary piece of physical evidence appears to be totally destroyed. But the killer made a fatal miscalculation. She assumed that flooding a camera with water and manually hitting delete on the photos meant the files were physically gone. This animation shows how modern digital cameras actually store data. They use solid-state memory, housing files deep inside flash memory chips that are highly resistant to water, shielded by the outer plastic casing. Forensic experts can extract this tiny, durable card and bypass the ruined mechanical camera entirely. By plugging it into specialized recovery software, they can scan the surviving hardware for raw binary data. Even if a user explicitly tells the camera to delete a photo, the raw ones and zeros often remain exactly where they were. The software simply relinks these orphan data blocks, reconstructing the image files back into a complete timeline. It turns out that a digital footprint is much harder to scrub away than physical blood. That waterlogged piece of plastic was actually an active, unblinking witness waiting to speak. The recovered files provided the first piece of concrete data, a photo showing Travis alive and smiling in his shower at exactly 5:29 p.m. on the day of the murder. This timestamp made Jodi's claim that she wasn't in the state impossible. The metadata definitively placed her inside that bathroom, standing directly behind the lens. Looking at this timeline chart, you can see how Jodi rapidly changed her story to account for the evidence. She admitted she was there, but claimed two masked intruders broke in, attacked them both, and she barely escaped. But the hard data points on this chart quickly overwrote her new narrative. The final batch of recovered files contained accidental, blurred photos captured during the struggle. They showed Jodi committing the murder herself, with no evidence of any intruders. When confronted with irrefutable digital timestamps, a liar is forced into a corner, having to invent wilder contradictions until their credibility is entirely destroyed. Cornered by the metadata, Jodi made one final change on the witness stand. She abandoned the intruder story completely and delivered a claim of self-defense. Because her story changed so drastically and so publicly, the trial became a national spectacle, heavily scrutinized and broadcast by a massive wall of professional media. But the jury saw through the performance. Because the prosecution had an airtight, digitally documented timeline of her previous lies, they rejected the self-defense claim and convicted her of first-degree murder. A suspect might be charismatic enough to manipulate a jury or clever enough to gaslight investigators, but they cannot cross-examine, intimidate, or outsmart digital metadata. Human memory is inherently fragile and easily corrupted, but a camera lens simply records the objective reality placed in front of it. Digital storage creates a persistent trail that is difficult to disrupt. Even when the hardware is battered and soaked, flash memory can retain a record of events that survives long after the device itself has failed. Digital memory cards are built for retention. They hold the truth until a forensic tool allows them to speak.